The plan today is I want to make a trail sign or a ski trail sign, kind of like the ones you would see if you were hiking in the New Hampshire mountains or maybe at a state park or something like that. You know, the wood ones, the brown ones, or the white and green lettered ones that they have in New Hampshire. But I'm going to put my own little spin on it. I'm going to end up routering the name into the bottom of a set of skis and mounting that on the board. So I'm going to start with cutting some plywood to size. I'm thinking like a 2x4, 2 foot tall by 4 foot wide. And then we'll kind of see where the rest goes. I want to make it a little bit different than, you know, obviously what the trail sign would be. So I'm thinking maybe a mountain scene behind the skis, which will be mounted on the front of a plywood. But let's get started with just cutting the plywood out, and we will talk about the rest after that. This trail sign will be fairly substantial, so I'm going to use French cleats to hang it, and I will cut those French cleats out right now. I'm just going to use the plywood to make the French cleat, so watch me do that. That is the French cleat. So the next step is I'm going to trim the skis down to a little bit under 4 feet. The sign itself is going to be 4 feet wide, but I don't want the skis to reach the end, so I'm going to trim them down and leave a 2-inch gap on either side. And then after that, we'll get to routering. So just cut the tips off of these skis. I'll use those for a different project, but that's what the inside of the ski looks like. I'm actually gonna router some letters. I have the Rockler sign making kit, and I use their little app to lay out the trail and the trail sign I want to make. And for this is an old ski resort in Holyoke, Massachusetts called Mount Tom. And that's where I learned to ski when I was a kid, so I'm going to make a sign to that. This is now a closed mountain. You can't even use it anymore, but should be a pretty cool sign. It's going to say Mount Tom, Lower Tom, and you lay it out with this Rockler sign making kit and then router it in. I'll show you that too. So what I've got going on next is I've got the skis with the trail name routed out. I have the border that's going to go around the sign, and I have the French cleats done. So I'm going to mount the French cleats onto the back of the trail sign, then put the border on. Then I'll flip it over and I will start doing a little bit of design work in the front. I think I'm going to do like a metal mountain scene. And then we'll figure out how we're going to mount the skis after that. So this is a French cleat. When you hang this on the wall, this will be mounted to the wall and it just locks in place like that. they work really good for heavier or bigger objects. So I just marked out where I'm going to put the screws for the border of the trail sign, and that's going to be the next step. Is I'm going to add the border. So there's this piece, this top piece, there's a side piece right here, and another side piece. So this will take a little bit of finagling since I'm not the best woodworker in the world, but we'll get it going. Alright, I forgot to turn the GoPro on, but I finished the border of the trail sign. Mount this camera. Finished the border. Got the French cleats in. These are upside down. Right, so the French cleats sit in here. This will hang on the wall. And next we are going to start building the mountain scene. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna build it yet, but you'll see me build it in real time. I'll have a couple mountains through here with a lot of the wood exposed, and then what we'll do is we'll mount the skis on top of that like this somehow. So I think I will do a bigger mountain over here because there's less going on, and then these will be mounted off a little bit. Alright, let's see what it looks like. I'm unfortunately going to have to do a little cutting on the driveway because I don't have my bench set up. Not optimal, but whatever. So now we'll lay the mountains in there and see what we got going on. Looks kind of cool. Lay the skis in there. Unfortunately, the peaks of those mountains are not where I want them to be. I want the mountain peaks to be above the skis, at least some of them. It's better. So we'll have to find a piece of metal to go down here. The way I want it, I'm not sure. Let's try this way. So I think I've got it figured out. I'm not sure if I really like it or not, but this is roughly how it will be. I might slide this big mountain over that just a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I changed my mind. Don't like it. So this is where I'm at. I figured out my mountain scene. Add some more mountains in. These are all just glued down with a type of sealant. And then we are going to mount the skis and make the ski sign. So that is the plan. We'll be done. Not exactly sure how I'm going to mount it, but I want the skis to be off the sign a tad, so I'll probably have to cut a little bit spacers with either some plywood or a little bit of 2x4 and glue them down. So now just let the epoxy set up or the sealant set up, should be good to go. And I'll show you what it looks like hanging up here as soon as that's dry. So it's about, I don't know, a day or two later since I glued the skis on with an epoxy. I think it came out pretty well. Pretty big. It's about 2 by 4 feet wide. If you like it, please let me know in the comments. Just an FYI, Mount Tom is the mountain that I learned to ski on. And Lower Tom was the most popular trail there, or the trail I enjoyed the most. If you think you'd like a sign made this way, just drop a note in the comments and let me know, and we can touch base. But overall, I think it came out pretty well. Yeah, let me know what you think. I enjoyed it. I'd maybe make it a little bit shorter next time, or do different backgrounds, or even different colors of plywood. There's a ton of options that, you know, available. And the way that this would hang up is there's actually a French cleat. I can't remember where I showed that in the video, but I made a French cleat for the back of it, so it'll literally lock into place. It'll be really sturdy. I made this one so it could hang in. I have an angled wall in my house, or an angled ceiling, and I want to be able to hang it on that angled ceiling, so it's got double French cleats in it. So it should hold that pretty well. But yeah, overall I think it came out great. Excited to hang it up. Let me know what you think.